Next on, we are going to start the panel discussion for Protein Revolution with our distinguished speakers and guests. Now, I would like to introduce you the session moderator, Dr. Cheng Yi-Wei, the professor from the University of Maryland in USA. With him, there will be 4 panelists joining the discussion. The first one is Mr. Seiya Ashikari, the CEO of Ecology in Japan. The second one is Dr. Che Cheng-Lin, the Vice Conference Chair of IAIC 2021 and also the professor at UNP University of Medical Technology, Taiwan. The third one is Dr. Tze-Chien Huang, an associate professor in National University of Singapore in Singapore, and also Dr. Lu Sheng-Xie, an assistant professor in the Department of Food Science in Tung Hai University, Taiwan. Ladies and gentlemen, the panel discussion is available in 2 languages, English and Japanese. So you can choose from the button below which language you prefer to have. Okay, we will start the panel discussion. Dr. Wei, it's your time.
Okay, this is definitely a new area. You know, we talk about the use of cell culture to produce the meat. And of course, you know, we talked about this several years ago. You know, at this meeting, I mentioned about this, all this innovative new work, okay, for meat production and to deal with some of the environmental, animal rights issues. And then, of course, you know, there are some other things, you know, as was presented, you know, the food processing, we use a lot of the raw material to produce the beer, the enzyme, or whatever we would like to have, the value added. And then after that, you know, the waste, the so-called waste, but the waste still contain a lot of the nutrient and a lot of proteins. And then, of course, we're trying to recycle and trying to find ways to get out of those valuable items and for different kind of purposes. And the speakers today give some of the outstanding examples of their work, their accomplishments, and they give us a lot of the hope on that. So since we have 2 individuals who did not give the presentation on the panel, so, you know, I think let them have a chance to introduce themselves and also their work, okay? So the first one is, of course, Mr. Ashikari, okay? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Seiya Ashikari. So is it okay to share my screen from now? Okay. Okay, I will introduce myself and my business from now. And Wellbeing for the Earth and Life is my company vision. And to achieve this vision, I focus cricket farming from Cambodia as future proteins resources. And we started our cricket farming business based on research results from Waseda University in Japan. And we are now producing a lot of cricket from Cambodia and export this cricket protein to Japan now. And we have technology to make nutritious cricket by using, for example, food engineering and genetic engineering. For example, we process cricket and our cricket powder is very good taste, and absorption rate is very good. So by using this technology, we are now producing cricket in Cambodia. We have 2 unique points. I would like to introduce 2 unique points. First is a collaboration with local farmers. We are now producing our cricket with local small farmers in Cambodia. And cricket farming is very good solution for local farmers because farmers can start cricket farming with small initial cost and small space, and the farmers can harvest cricket in 45 days in short time. It's very good because, for example, rice farmers can harvest 1 or 2 times for 1 year, but cricket farmers can harvest 8 times for 1 year. So farmers can get a stable cash income by starting cricket farming. It is very good side business and a secondary business for local farmers in Cambodia. In addition to that, we are now producing our cricket with, how can I say, very eco-friendly method. For example, this picture is a food waste from food factories in Cambodia. In Cambodia, the infrastructure for food waste management is not enough. This is waste. So we are now collecting these food waste and agriculture waste and beer waste, and we are now using these waste as food for cricket. So we can make cricket with very eco-friendly method. And last, this is information of nutrition value of our cricket. Our cricket powder is very nutritious. For example, a lot of protein, and in addition to that, our cricket contains a lot of iron and zinc. And this nutrient is very good for human health. So we are now developing healthy food by using our cricket for Cambodian people, especially, for example, Cambodian women lack on, for example, zinc and iron. This is very severe health problem. So we are now producing our cricket for Cambodian women to prevent anemia, yes. In addition to that, we are now producing our cricket as feed for aquaculture. Thank you very much. This is our business and myself.
Thank you. Very interesting. Okay, I test some of the grasshopper when I was a kid. I went to my grandfather's place, and then they do the harvest of the rice. And then my uncle, catch some of the grasshopper and then eventually bake it. So I have the chance to try it. Okay, Dr. Lin, can you talk a little bit about your work and introduce yourself? Thank you.
My major is functional food, not protein. But I have been studying dietary fiber. Mm-hmm. It's come from Japan. Very new technique and technology to produce dietary fiber. And we use dietary fiber and we combine other protein to produce meat texture like the meat. Some alternative protein is no texture, not like a meat. If we use dietary fiber into the protein, we can make meat-like protein. So I think this study is very suitable for elderly, because elderly need some texture to produce saliva. Because elderly is a low digestion and absorption. They need saliva. So we cannot let the elderly every day only eat milk or soft texture food. We can use a dietary fiber combine plant-based protein or other protein or milk protein. Produce a meat-like protein for elderly. This is my work, little work. Thank you very much.
That's good. That's good. So So to some extent, it's a little bit similar to some of that the product of the beyond the food and beyond the meat, right? Something like that, American companies, yeah. And in this case, do you need to add a lot of the flavor compound, the food additive, or something like that?
I use I use a milk protein, so I had a milk flavor. So I don't need to add other flavor or additive. No.
Okay. Dr. Huang.
Yes, Professor Wei, good to know you.
Actually, I have a chance to read some of the news report about your work.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Some of the, the magazines, and they talk about either from your university, the news or whatever. So I read some of yours work. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's very exciting. Okay. Now, my question is, in terms of how about the nutrition?
Exactly. That's certainly the top question for the alternative meat.
What's that's right.
Meat? Yeah. So I think when in our case, we actually try to use a 3D printer to print a salmon mimic, which looks like a salmon, but the texture is certainly not the same. And so we use like lentil proteins and pea proteins and some of the plant omega-3 fatty acid. So when we design this salmon whey plate, we actually take into consideration of the nutritional equivalent. For example, we take the protein amino acid profile, and then we try to match that with the real salmon, for example. And then omega-3 fatty acid is another very important nutrient in this salmon, and so we can actually mimic the equal nutritional values. When we try to create a meat mimic, at least we can say that nutritionally they are equivalent. That's a very important consideration for food design when you want to design some alternative meat mimic. I think it's an important factor to consider. Yeah.
So right now, do you have any chance to do some of the panel testing?
Yeah. We just finished one using consumer acceptability. Of course, right. any food you make, eventually people need to consume them. So if they are not delicious, then you won't find a market. So we actually completed a test on consumer acceptability. We use actually the product we made in this case was actually the fish ball. In Singapore, fish ball is very popular. And but we use like mung bean protein to make the fish ball, so no fish inside. No fish. Yeah. So it's a fishless ball. Yeah, so we use, of course, like Dr. Lin said, we use some of the hydrocolloid fiber from the plant, and then we formulate the fish ball, which the equal nutrient, actually higher protein content compared to the real fish ball in the market, which contain a lot of starch. And we don't put starch in the fish ball. So it's a protein plus fiber. And then the texture is actually quite comparable to the real fish ball, and also the flavor is a bit tricky because fish ball is certainly very fish taste everybody like, but when you use a bean protein, you always have this beany kind of taste, like the soya milk when we drink. I think so you have to somehow balance the taste, but you still want people to remind them, they are really eating a plant protein-based product, not really something purely fish, because otherwise they will feel wrong impression. So that is a lot so interesting in terms of the consumer perceptions. Somebody will say they like to eat a fish ball, which still can remind them they're eating a plant protein, because plant protein to them is actually a good thing. If you completely market the flavor, then they may not like it as much. I don't know. So there are lots of tricky consumer perceptions and preferences. That was one interesting we just found out.
I mean, some of the vegetarians.
Yeah.
Okay, some of vegetarians they may try it. I think. If some of the reason they are vegetarian is because they don't want to kill the animals, and right now this is not the kill the animals, so they may try it. Right?
Yeah, I think there are lots of new generations. They are certainly more open to accept this alternative meat or plant-based. Yeah.
Now, how about the economics? To raise the pig and also to prepare the cell cultures in terms of the cost, all those.
Yes.
I mean, initially, right now, you're still doing research, of course, more expensive, but then after the methodologies is well established and the procedures is established, then eventually the cost is going to reduce, right?
Yeah, it has to be reduced because the Singapore is the first country to approve the cultured chicken, but we cannot buy it in our market at this moment. It's just too costly to make them.
Okay.
So I think there was still a long way to go to cut down the cost, because raising chicken in the farm is very quick, and also the cost of chicken meat probably is among the lowest among all the animal meat. And but how can you grow that in a lab that is cost effective? It's a huge challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Xie, do you have something you want to say more?
Hi, good morning, Professor Wei. I am a protein scientist. Now I work for Bonghai University as an assistant professor in Department of Food Science. Now I'm majored in trying to use microbial biotechnology method to produce enzymes and then immobilize it on the electrospin nanofibers for synthesize useful chemicals. Okay.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have the same kind of nano spinning in our lab.
Yeah. Right now, this is a very popular method.
Yeah.
So all this lead to patent, right? Patent applications.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
How about the university? Do they provide a lot of the support for the research? Or?
I think our university is half educational, half research university. So they did not provide much financial support. But our government, we have the Ministry of Science, and the technology. We apply grants from from government, and luckily I got grant support by government. So right now my lab works well.
Yeah, I graduated from Tonghai.
Yeah. Oh, really?
1970s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also from Department of Food Science? No.
No, they're not
chemistry.
department. Yeah, no, biology.
Biology. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That's
biology.
also the oldest department.
That's right.
In our university. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, how about other people speak? Discuss. It's not just one way. Okay, please.
Okay.
I have another idea. We make flavor about the alternative protein. We use food processing baking. Baking is very important to make flavor production.
Yeah.
So we use baking protein and dietary fiber. They produce flavor.
That's a wonderful idea. Yeah. Protein and fiber certainly is an interesting combination.
My major study is tea.
Tea.
So we also use baking tea make the flavor.
Oh.
I think basically we have to talk about the recycle.
Yes.
Okay, so since a lot of those agriculture production, the product are still valuable, a lot are still valuable. So how to better reuse all those and to deal with, the natural resources. So this is related to sustainability. So actually, there are a lot of this kind of research going on. And every day there are some new ideas. I myself, I was always thinking, okay, for how to better utilize the soybean using the fermentation and increase, get rid of the toxic component, increase the digestibilities, and then, add it with some of the worms. Okay, the worms. Yeah, and basically
click it powder.
Yeah, something like that, and do the aquaculture, fish meal. So that's what I was thinking, and trying to do something related to that area myself. Yeah, with some collaborations or something like that. Yeah. So I think that's this is one area, a lot of potentials. Okay, and there are so many of the worms, and either for human consumptions or for, I really think the fish meal, how to replace the fish meal is a good sense. Okay, I think the time is up.
Yes.
It's time for you guys to go to lunch. And of course, for me, it's midnight, really.
Oh, midnight. Oh, yeah, in Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So very nice to listen to your presentations, and also very nice to know the work, in Cambodia, and all these exciting things. Okay, and MP. Okay, I was there when I was doing military service. I do military service, and I taught microbiology at your university. Yeah.
Welcome to again.
2 times. Yeah. Again, long time. This is 1971, 72 to 73. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Very nice to meet you and listen to your talk, and very exciting. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all.
We're
Hope
going to
we-
take
we
a
keep in
photo
touch.
again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Take a photo.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
You're in charge.
Thank you, Dr. Cheng Yue and all panelists. It's such an interesting topic to talk about. We are looking forward to your next project and works on the protein revolution. And before we continue to the afternoon session, we would like to take photo of all of us so we can keep it in a good memory for us that we will be in IAIC 2021.
Okay.
So please make sure you look good in your screen. Everyone is looking, and please give us your best smile ever, okay? So we will take picture in 3, 2, 1. Again, 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, thank you, Dr. Cheng Yue. Have a good night there. And also thank you for
Okay.
all panelists for the discussion.